the biggest problem with what people perceive as fear is selfishness. Usually when people fear something, like that they'll, when they're willing to kill over something, it's because of they're selfish. And then they have this fear of losing something, right? And so the biggest problem with the perception of fear is selfishness. People are afraid of stuff that really no longer exists, right? You have something in your life in that moment, right? And then that moment's gone. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is, right? Oh, Juanita. Anybody else dig that song? That dude he's really weird. He's a little abstract, he's a little out there, but he uses that to catch a hook and then get people to buy that moment, what else does he sing? They call it mellow yellow and well, Allah, kiss me once more. And God can't kiss you, okay? You can't use the word God as a possessive pronoun. Okay, it's just no. When LeVar Burton's character was talking to God, no, you're talking to the memory of yourself and your ancestors and your descendants. Okay, but you're not talking to God. No. Lots of people, when they're talking to themselves, and when people actually get Jesus and get to talk to him, they think, oh my gosh, I've talked to God. And it's like, no, you talked to Jesus. Okay, you talked to Adam. You talked to Saladin. You talked to Pascal. You talked to David. Well, then you talked to Jesus. Jesus never said he was God. Look, okay, guys, let me explain something to you. Okay. You get these people, my family believes this shit too. That he had to become God to feel what it's like to be one of us. It's like he's omnipotent and omnipotent. Okay, if he's God and he's omnipotent and omnipotent, it's not necessary for him to become a human being to understand what human beings feel, think, do, say, or know. Okay, if he's omnipotent, omnipotent, he already knows what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, why you're going to do it. Oops, yeah, it's worse than the fates on Hercules at Disney. No, just trust me. Okay. Trust me, I love you. Trust me, I need you. No, your God, okay, would not need to become a human to understand what it's like to be a human if your God is infinite and omnipotent. There's no reason for your God to become a human being to understand human beings. God is the essence of human beings, and God is infinite and omnipotent. It makes absolutely no sense. You're not quantifying what you say you believe in or have faith in. Okay, it would not suit any kind of purpose for your God to become a human being to understand what human beings go through. LeVar Burton's character playing to Allah, kiss me once more. Where you love like heaven. Do you understand? First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is, right? So you got to understand this. Okay, what you think you believe makes no sense. And if that makes no sense, you have faith in nonsense, and you cannot have faith in nonsense. Faith can only be based on reality. Do you understand? Otherwise, it's not faith. It's something you make up that you think you believe in, that you think is the source of your faith, and some asshole professor at New Mexico State University can make you look and feel like a fool because he's explaining to you that you've created God in your mind that's a possessive pronoun or a first person that you are perceiving through. Do you understand? No, God is omniscient, omnipotent. You can explain this to a professor at New Mexico State and make him look like a turd bag asking for fake money to live here and say, well, the Lord said, forgive debt and trespass, love one another, flee for peace. If you have faith in God, you wouldn't accept money and a paycheck as reality and fuck your whole life away in this building trying to make me feel inadequate because you won't accept faith in infinite glory over fuck for a paycheck. Huh? You're so brilliant there. You want to write a book and sell it for money there? I obliterate people like that. I just did. Okay. I've been doing it my whole life. Okay. He's real good at that. I have to be. Don't want to be. I would wish it wasn't necessary. I wish these assholes would have accepted the Lord's Prayer in 2009, but that's not. It's 2024. That was 15 years ago. All right. It's been 15 years since they, revealed themselves. What are you going to do? Oh, fun of us. So gonna. Same thing Krishnamurti, Suzuki, Selassie did. I'm going to do the exact same thing they did. Because what they did is right. You should have faith in an infinite essence. You should have eternal lives that understand the natural laws required by the this is required for us to have life. It says so in the book of Revelation. I don't think a lot of you understand it real well. In order to have the lack of sacrifice, you have to have an understanding of the natural laws for an eternal existence through holy covenants, through an infinite essence, because there's no other possible source or containment. That's not too hard to explain, right? It's not too hard to ascertain. Am I crushing your heads? Okay. Do you understand, kids in the hall? So, me and Brian Hall, crushing your head. He's such a goof. He's funny. I would like to hope he's lived through all this crap and he still has a chance to, recover, because, in one day, I can go from here in this room up into the Gila, where some decent people in the Corps of Artillery Engineers had already built me an adobe house, a basketball barn, and I can snuggle my buggle, I snuggle my Plium, and go for a walk with him. Daddy, you were right. They came and picked us up, and they had these crazy people come talk to us and say, your dad was right. We're sorry we were such assholes. Amy, really sorry about Amy, you weren't upset now? Amy talked to me the other night about, certain things with what happened with April, Brian and her mother, and said, you passed that up? It's like, well, of course, yes, naturally. Sexual escapades studied by scientists that behave like animals and have us behave like animals to get, whatever, quote, heaven we can get out of carnal pleasures, okay, is wrong, okay? Would you have me kill my own son to have sex with his wife because his wife was more sexually desirable than my wife? Okay. Because I was pathetic and cloned myself and made myself more sexually desirable at 55 than my son was at 20 because I poisoned my son to death because I wanted to fuck his wife because she turned out to be more sexually desirable to me than my own wife. That's the devil and Satan's ways. That's gross, You appreciate the gifts that are given to you, and you teach your children to appreciate the gifts that are given to you. Like Joseph Smith explained in his version of the Gospels, that was corrupted by people that are now a corporation that call themselves the Quorum of the 12 and the Church of Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is celestial bodies, okay? The cleaner the river, the healthier the river. Same goes with us. Do you understand? Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physiologically. Okay, so you'll have less desires for someone that you think you want when we're all physically fit and physically healthy, but we're different. Okay, some guys think that Lonnie Anderson's the most gorgeous woman alive, gorgeous woman alive. Some guys thought Lola Falana was. Okay, some think Miriam Cologne was. Some, everybody's got different. So on, Scooby Dooby Dooby. I realized very shortly after the second Obama administration, okay, that I was dealing with very superficial people that saw me as a pervert and a bad person because there's scientists that were manipulating them, because it's not hard to manipulate people with big egos, okay, and ego problems. And they thought the same of me, and it never worked. I was just hopeful that these people would shift, and I deserve to be loved because I'm a perfect lover like Job, right? And I am loved. Past, present, and future operate at the same time. People have been praying for thousands of years for my life. And then my life showed up and I did exactly what I was supposed to do to validate the true life of Jesus, Muhammad, and Haile Selassie and others and stuff. So I'm loved, okay? More so in the past, people praying for my birth and for me to, perform the apocalypse so we don't have to live in hell anymore. And more so in the future because people are like, hey, he did it. Yay, he did it. Like me and Kate, just joke about that. But today, in the present, people are too afraid to love me. Like we talked about at the beginning of this video. Okay. The selfishness. I'm afraid I'll die if I try to support you. If you don't give your children the Lord's Prayer, zombie, you're already dead. Okay? In every moment, where this moment right now is dead. You're watching it on your phone 2 hours from the time I've recorded it. But this moment's already dead. It's one of the most beautiful prayers that you've ever been given, but you didn't think it was that beautiful because I didn't try to sell you a bunch of poetic bullshit to keep myself famous. If I ever left you, it would not be in summer, you know. There was a French movie about a cat, and Robert Guillaume was the voice of the cat. Yeah, that's how I remember Robert Guillaume. That's the first time I saw. Not Robert Guillaume. It's Robert Goulet. Guillaume is the Benson dude. Yeah, he's in you pandy. That's Guillaume. Okay, sorry, I got the two mixed up. Both French names. Goulet, Guillaume. They're both French. It's both French names. But sorry, I screwed up. I do that. I don't need to apologize. You know, fuck, if people screw up. You know, it doesn't mean I shouldn't run for president. I don't want to run for president, fuck that. I do that tons of times. Well, lots of us do that. We get this, left mixed up with right and upset. It doesn't mean you're having brain damage. It just means there's a lot of information going in and out of your head, and you're trying to connect to a lot of people to do simplistic things. You know, when you were sharing intelligent, simplistic information, you don't confuse left with right and up with down and her with him and call somebody by a different name. You know, she squeezed me till I'm all aflame. He calls you, she calls you by some other guy's name. Like a rubber ball, I come bouncing back to you. Rubber ball, I come bounce. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, because the night has 1,000 eyes. Okay, you guys understand? Those are Bobby V songs. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna go. Try to stop showing that ass. Try to stand up for the Lord's Prayer. If you make me do it with the technology, there's no way you're going to be able to tell everybody I was the apocalypse and we're living in the kingdom of heaven and I helped. Okay? Okay.